Hi, this is Paul. Paul, sorry, talking a little loud there. We finally know for sure that Matt Reeves and his writing partner finally turned in the script for the Batman Part 2. And we know we're getting it in 2027. Okay. So, thank you, Matt Reeves. I know it's been a while since we got the other one. And so I'm finally happy that he's completed. I know supposedly he has some personal issues, which that's his business. But I'm happy that the movie is finally going to get made because I thought for a minute there, um, because of whatever issues he's having, that maybe they might delay it or something. And I wouldn't be opposed to him putting two and three together, but he's probably not going to do that. He's not going to film two and three back to back. I know that if that was James Gunn, that's what I would think in the back of my head. But he's probably just wrote the script for part two, and I do wonder who the villain is going to be in part two. I know there was rumors about Mister Freeze being the villain, uh, and so I know the Penguin's going to be in it as well. But I am wondering who the villain is going to be, and I think Catwoman probably will come back. 'Cause remember, she left at the end of the first movie, so I think she may be coming back. Uh, and I know there was also rumors about Scarecrow maybe being the villain. So I'm not sure which way he's going to go, but I have full faith in Matt Reeves because again, that first movie was I think was this chef's kiss. So I have full faith that the second part will definitely live up to the hype. And like I said, I wouldn't mind Mr. Freeze, although like I said, I don't. This is supposed to be a more grounded, I guess, version of it. So I don't. I do wonder how they're going to do that. But if they do Mr. Freeze, that is. Although, like I said, Batman villains are always, I mean, for the most part, they're practical and stuff. So, and I think they're supposed to introduce Harvey Dent. I think I'm not sure about that because again, like I said, the script just got handed in, so we don't know. We won't know, I guess, until they start doing the casting and stuff, and we hear the rumors about who's being cast for what part and whatever. Okay, so I'm looking forward to it finally, being made and stuff. And speaking of Batman movies being made, uh, we also found out from James Gunn that that he's working with the writer for the Batman movie on the Batman movie. That there's a writer actually writing uh, the Batman and Brave and the Bold, and James Gunn is helping him steer that whoever that writer is towards what he wants it to be. And we all know that he wants his Batman, James Gunn's Batman in the DC Studios Batman to be different, be more fantastical than Robert Pattinson's Batman, who's younger. I think his James Gunn Batman, because we're going to get more of the Bat family in this. So this Batman is a veteran Batman, and I think he's going to be a little bit older than Superman. I think he's supposed to be the Superman is supposed to be the age that David Cornsworth is, which I believe is 33. So I think the Batman is going to be the character is going to be probably around 36, I believe. I think just a little bit older, and of course have members of the Bat family with him in it. And I definitely want it to be. I would like to. You know what I would like him to be like? I, remember the Brave and the Bold cartoon? I love that cartoon, that Brave and the Bold cartoon, because Batman not only did he fight regular Gotham villains, he even fought. He had Gentleman Ghost, as one of the villains and stuff. It was definitely he teamed up with Aquaman, with Superman, with Catwoman. He just had all these Blue Beetle. He teamed up with all these great with these great DC characters, and he was and sure that it had a little comic edge to it, but he always played it straight. The Batman character, and I always played it straight. So I'm definitely looking forward to. And I don't know who he's going to pick to be Batman. I know a lot of people want the actor Brandon Scalar, who's in that TV series 1923, and I think he's like 6'3", and I see him how he looks in the tux and stuff. He looks like he could potentially pull it off. Okay, but again, I guess that's what the auditions are for. Okay, and I know a lot of people want Jason Eccles, but I think Jason Eccles is a little bit too older. and a little bit too short. I think Jason Eccles is like 5'9". I think he's 40 something, 45 or something like that, or 46. I want our Batman to be nearly as big as Superman. And when I say that, I mean in terms of height. Okay, we know David Cornsweat is 6'4", and so I think Brandon Scalar is like 6'3". Okay, so I would like our Batman to be, you know, relative. I don't want, you know, that, you know, and I know movie magic, you can make people look, you know, just about the same size. I know David Cornsweat is 6'4" in real life, and let's say like Jason Eccles is like 5'9", so he basically has 5 inches over. I don't want it to be that that different. And I know a lot of people do also want Alan Richardson, who plays Reacher, and I know he played Hawk in the Titans show, and he played Aquaman in the Smallville TV show. And I thought about him too because he has the size. He's 6'3" too, and he wants to play the part. But I don't see Bruce Wayne in him. The Batman part I definitely see in him because he has the physicality and stuff. But I don't see the Bruce Wayne part of him, like the charming playboy type. I don't see that with Alan Richardson. I just don't see that with him. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to have him. Brandon Scalar, I wouldn't mind because, like I said, I've seen him in a couple of scenes from 1923, and he's 6'3". You know, he's like 200 pounds, so he can look, you know, as big, you know, nearly as big as David Cornsweat, and he's at the right age. I think he's 34, something like that. So he's around the right age and stuff. So I could see him. I could see him being Bruce Wayne. Okay, and I would definitely love to see what he would look like in the bat suit. Okay, I definitely think because there's been scenes in, I think in 1923 where you see him wearing like a tux and stuff, and he kind of looks playboyish. You just have to probably shit, because I think he had like a beard and stuff and all that, so you can shave that off and just dye his hair black. I think he could pull off the Bruce Wayne part. I'm not sure about the Batman part, but he has the right physical stats for it. Like he's 6'3" and he's over 200 pounds. Looks like he can be solid muscle. That's what I want my Batman to be. I want my Batman to be big. I don't want my Batman to be short. Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't want no 5'9" Batmans. Okay, especially when you got Superman being 6'4". And I think Aaron Pierre, who's playing the Green Lantern, not Hal Jordan. He's playing I forgot the black Green Lantern. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now, but I think he's 6'3" too. Aaron Pierre is 6'3" too, who's playing Jon Stewart. So I want my Batman to be, I want him to be 6'3" too. I want my Batman. I don't want Batman to be 5'9" or something, or 5'8". Okay, I want Batman to be big. Okay, and so when you see them all together, it looks good. And just like that's why I think you also should definitely pick a Wonder Woman that's like 5'9" or something like that. Somebody that's, I don't want a 5'6" or 5'3" Wonder Woman. Okay, I know Gal Gadot. I think Gal Gadot was 5'9" or something. Hold on, let me see how tall Gal Gadot was. How tall was Gal Gadot? Okay, 5'10". There she go. She's 5'10". Yeah, which is great. Again, she was perfect. She was the perfect height, and she looked good next to Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck was 6'3", right? And Henry Cavill like 6'1". But she was the right size and the right, So that's what I want. I want my Wonder Woman to be at least 5'9", 5'10", maybe even 6 feet if they could find an actress that's that tall enough. I don't want Wonder Woman to be 5'6". I want her to be 5'9" at least, okay, and can be physical, okay. That's what I want. Because she's a warrior. That's what she's. So warriors on Amazon, and she's an Amazon, so she shouldn't be short, okay. That's just my personal preference for that. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this now. I'm glad, and I'm waiting for the rumors to come out about who the villain is going to be in the Batman 2 and stuff. And again, I have full faith in Matt Reeves now that we have the script turned in. He's going to start production early next year. And so I'm looking forward to those first trailers and teaser trailers and stuff. I'm looking forward to that. And also when James Gunn, and I think he is, right, because I think I mentioned it in the video, on this channel already about that James Gunn's next movie. I think it's supposed to be. He said it's supposed to be a sort of sequel to the Man of Steel, the Superman movie. So that's why I think it's going to be a sort of a world's finest movie. I think with Batman and Superman teaming up. So hopefully he will again. That movie will come out. I don't know if that movie will come out first, because I'm thinking because we know the Batman 2 is coming out in 2027. So maybe the Brave and the Bold will come out in 2028, or maybe that movie that James Gunn, the world's finest movie that James Gunn is writing. Okay, I could see that coming out maybe in 2028. Maybe that'll come out first, and then the Brave and the Bold movie come out in maybe 2029. Although I don't want to wait that long for the Bat, but I think we may have to, because I know James Gunn said he's finished with the script. He's in the writing phase of that movie, this sort of sequel to Superman. So I'm thinking, I wish that if that World's Finest movie comes out, like I said, you can introduce Batman in that movie, and then have him. I wonder if they would, let's say, if he had the script ready, he would have to cast Batman and two of the other character. And we know that I think the Batman Part 2 is coming out, I think in November or October of 2027. Would James Gunn release that movie in 2027? I don't think so. I think the one, like the Supergirl movie is coming out next year. But I do wonder how James Gunn is going to do it. How he's going to, whether that World's Finest movie that he said he's writing, and he said also he's working with the Batman, Brave and the Bold writer. So will that come out in 2029? Oh no, excuse me, 2028. Okay, because we know 2027 the Batman Part 2 is coming out. So maybe 2028 he can have the Brave and the Bold movie. Or you think maybe you could have the World's Finest movie come out in the summer, and then have the Brave and the Bold movie come out in December, be a December movie? Or will we have to wait till 2029 for the Brave and the Bold movie, and maybe 2027 we'll get the World's Finest movie with Superman and Batman teaming up? Although I don't want to have to wait till 3 years but we may have to, depending on when James Gunn's how Warner Brothers is going to do, how they're going to fit it in, because even if he's, like I say, he's finished writing that movie, if it's a Brave and the Bold movie, I mean if it's a World's Finest movie, when are you going to release it? Because you're not going to release it in 2026, because that's when Supergirl is going to get released. 2027, the Batman Part 2 is coming out in October, November. So would you release that in the summertime, like July? Would you release that in July if you had that World's Finest movie in 2027? And then in 2028, you could release the Brave and the Bold movie. I could see them do, but they would have to start filming it next year, along with Batman Part 2. They would have to film the World's Finest movie, like next year. Film it next year, okay? And it only takes, like I say, 4 to 6 months to film that, and then you can release that in July of 2027, and then the Batman Part 2 can come out in October or November, okay? And then 2028, you get the Brave and the Bold and whatever else movie that's coming out. I could see that happening. I definitely could see that happening, and hopefully it happens that way. But anyway, let me know what you think of finally the Batman 2. The script is completed, and we're finally going to get that movie in production next year. So let me know what you think about that, and also what you think about the next movie James Gunn is going to produce, is writing. Is it going to be a Brave and the Bold movie? I know I made a video about that, so let me know what your thoughts about that are, and whether when it should get released. Should that get released before the Brave and the Bold, which I think it should, and then you can release the Brave and the Bold, and maybe in 2028. Maybe do World's Finest, release that in the summer of 2027, okay, and then you can release the Batman in the fall. I can see that happen. Okay, anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. In the description box, I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, to my main channel, Trepacer, as well, down below. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. My Patreon is only $5 a month. Over 200 videos on there, 5 different categories. You get 5-minute preview clips of all the content that's on there. Follow a link; it'll take you to my Patreon page. Also have a link down below to my merchandise store. As you can see, I'm wearing my Trepacer, my baseball shirt with my Trepacer logo on it. I also have the spherical circles. That's the other logo that I have on my merch. I sell hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, water bottles, teddy bears for men, women, unisex. Follow a link; it'll take you to the store. Also, please give this video a thumbs up; it helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Paul saying so long and take care.